Hello. How is everyone today? Hope you are all doing well, and welcome to today's dev stream, where we are going to be doing some more work on Coppice. And I am first going to be remembering where we got to in our work on Coppice, because I have not been working on Coppice. Sort of. I sort of have. I'll show you what I've been working on. But yeah, welcome to the stream. You'll see that we have everything spruced up in here. We've got our nice floor. We've got our walls that extend back here. Ignore the clipping. Do not perceive the clipping. And yeah, things are looking pretty good in here. We still have the roof to do. And, probably give the hollow table a coat of paint. But we may get to that later. But yes, let me know how you are doing. What your weekend's going like so far, if you're up to anything. But we're going to get into doing some work. So if we head into our main conference room and switch over, we have Coppice, which I actually need to do some tweaks to the setup here because the code is too small. There we go. So what were we up to? We had done the page hierarchy stuff, hadn't we? Have I written any notes myself? Oh, I am in the wrong version of Xcode. That means I just need to do this. Because I need to quit that and open this and make sure that I'm not accidentally opening something that I shouldn't. Xcode, open up, there we go. I am still on Xcode 14.4. Anyway, let's build and run and see what we come up with. I also need those. Front version of Coppice, because I've actually been working on something. I had one of those brief moments where I'm looking for an app that I can use to actually plan out. I'm currently working through website and redoing the website. I'm working out, okay, what do I need on the website? What can I type and all stuff like that. And then I realised after I was looking through, it's like, oh yeah, I could just use Coppice to do that. So yeah, I'm constantly finding even more places that I can use Coppice myself. Right. So that's hierarchy stuff. Right. We have our page hierarchy. Yeah, the reason I can't remember where we got to is because I was working on the website, which I will show you in a bit. I just want to get my brain back into where we were. We have the property conversion, which is what, an array of dictionary. Every day, so let's run tests and do the test run. They do not. Why not? Model P list error not convert. Oh, it can't because of ID. So now we're certain that it throws an error. What we want to do case dot valid version let expected 0 else it's fail. Then we can set equals received 3 expected. Maybe just a little bit quiet to begin with this stream because my brain is still properly engaging. FX was ambiguous without more context. Why is the type ambiguous? Throw error. Model peeling. What part of this is ambiguous? There are multiple expressions here. Like, is that ambiguous? Oh. What part of this is ambiguous? I do error to void. That is literally the type. Hi Snowtwig, how are you doing? How's your weekend going? It is going sleepily. My brain is slowly engaging. It's just one of those days where I've been up fairly early. Managed to get a lot done, but yeah, it is just going to be a sleepy day. If my brain doesn't kick in fully, though it does seem to be working enough, but if it doesn't kick in fully, we may switch to doing some design stuff. So, we'll see. Let's see. I'm currently trying to work out why the compiler is breaking. Doing a bit of drawing now. What are you drawing? Uh, Valid version. Model P list errors. Why couldn't you have just told me that, you ridiculous compiler? Equivalent of a semicolon error, giving me the wrong error and pointing to the wrong line. Trying to draw animated designs in game fan art. Oh, cool. Are these your own animated designs? Are you doing like practicing drawing other people's animators? I don't think I've seen you with an animator. Matters, mill playlist errors, missing collection. Doing your own, not really finished design, so just trying to find something you like. Yeah, it's a challenge trying to come up with an animator design that you like. I mean, it took me a while. I was trying to go down the route of an animal and then realised, oh, I'm no good at drawing like organic stuff, like animals, people, stuff like that. I can't really do. Mechanical stuff, I can. Robots, computers, stuff like that. I've always been far better at drawing mechanical things. And that is how I came up with a robot. Right, where are we? So hopefully our tests pass now. It would be nice if they did. They compile. That's a step forward. It's always nice moving forward. Laws, data, the PS matches, the latest version. Why did... Expected non-null value of type model file. So they all fail here. So... Oh, I need... Animal. Model file properties. So this wants to change to property conversions. And that is going to change to image dot model file. And now they should hopefully work. Oh, that needs to be a model plist key. Thank you. I'm pretty pleased with how it's turned out so far. There's still a lot I need to do on the pill keyboard. It still needs arms. I want to do other things to the expression. Because at the moment all I can really do is look around and move around. And it would be nice if at some point I could, for example, just move my eyes a bit. Or have arms that I can flail about and do stuff with. So yeah, it would be nice to get to that point eventually, but for now I think I'm in a good place. I also need to come up with some sort of idle animations and stuff so that I'm not just sat here completely static. I mean, the only real movement I have when I'm not actually doing anything is the eyes blinking, the mouth moving, and scan lines on the monitor that you can't really see at this distance. So I'll probably have the Pokebot sort of bounce up and down a bit, and occasionally just look around, and just occasionally like just look in the direction and then look back to the camera, so on, so that I can sit here working and have it doing stuff. But I've got, I mean, that is on my plan. When do I have that planned? So I've got an entire whiteboard now with these coloured magnets on that I think I talked about last stream, which are basically telling me what I'm hoping to get done and when. And I actually have bot improvements as one of them for the stream for start of September. We will see. It may even be sooner because I'm hoping to take a week off work the first full week of September. So we'll see how that goes, because if I can take a full week off work, some of it will literally just be relaxing, doing nothing. But some of it will be working on Coppice, so there may be some more streams during the day, during the week. But I need to actually book that time off first. I've tentatively booked it off. I just need to put it in writing now that I have an idea of what schedules are with contract work. So, do you have any ideas what you're doing for your animator? If you're just like playing around, have you like got any rough ideas for where you'd like to take it? Alright, I can be terrible at organising and scheduling stuff, but that is why I have done this. So I've got a whiteboard, like I say, I've got these magnets on. Now I've changed this around because I've ended up getting some more ones that are different shapes, and I've rearranged a few things, but effectively I can do different colours for different projects and set them up for the weeks that I'm working, which always start on a Saturday because that's effectively when my work week for my own project starts. But I can just put them up and it just gives me a sense of what do I need to do. And for example, at Coppice at the moment, where do I have it? The week of the 17th probably. So here is where I've shifted it to, but I can shift stuff around. If something's taken too long, I can leave it up. If something's much shorter, I can then shift stuff further up, and it doesn't really let me say, okay, I'm committing to Coppice being released a certain time, or committing to certain things happening on a certain time. It's just these are things I want to do. This is when I think I could get to them, and we'll see how things go. So I'm going to see how this works, because it worked incredibly well when I was releasing Coppice for the first time. It's just not been quite as useful to me since then, because it's almost like a rolling thing now rather than a this is what you need to do to get to this deadline. It's like, okay, but what about beyond that deadline? So I now have a rolling 8-week plan for my own projects. And it's also high level stuff, so if you just focus on the high level and don't treat it as a hard fast deadline for yourself, then take the pressure off, and it's a tool then. It's not something that you are committing to, it's just something to help you see, okay, where am I? It helps you see when the end might be, not set it in stone. You have an idea, but you keep switching between different animals and combining them. Yeah, it's tough, because initially I was looking at either a chinchilla or something like a sugar glider. That sort of thing. But yeah, like I say, it was just I couldn't really do it. So I think it's just a case of, yeah, I think what you're doing is just playing around. It eventually will click. Like, it will click, okay, this is perfect, but it's always a struggle getting to that point where you can look back in hindsight and say, why didn't I do this the first time? Well, because it took all the other ideas that you threw together to get to the end point. Right, so that works. If I go to Coppice Core, test compile here. Nope. Yeah, character design is very difficult. I struggle with character design a lot. Environment design, Like if you told me to draw a room, draw an environment, something like that, I could do that reasonably well. I can get that out of my head, but characters, I just can't get them out of my head and onto paper or screen or anything like that. And it takes a special sort of skill to do character design. Like from watching streams, I think Kurzek is very good at character design. And it's just like watching how easily they can sort of design characters and come up with stuff and show off all the other bits of design and stuff they've done. Alright. Oh, we should be nope, we're not compiling. Add a placeholder. Ah. Right, let's comment these out. Oh. I comment. Right. Coppice is going okay. Things are a bit slower than I expected, just with all this page hierarchy stuff. Okay, so we've got tests failing. What tests are failing? Direction. Open page. Yeah, we're going to have to go through and read all of these tests. So yeah, what we have, if I build them, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to build them app. I should hopefully build and run. Okay, so if I create a debug document, we've now implemented it where pages can be linked in loops, or you can have multiple links going in. So all of this is working, and the layout stuff is working, so we're all good there. The issue is closing and reopening, so it's the hierarchy stuff. So we've got the logic where it correctly closes stuff. Undo redo is working. We just need it so that if I do that and there is a link like going from O to P and I click on the link again, it should, in theory, open P again. Now, I think what I'm working on is getting the actual page hierarchy stuff implemented, because what we're going to be doing is when you close them, we want to store the pages that were closed, we want to store their relative positions, and we want to store the links. So that we can restore them, because that's kind of an important feature. It's just it has to work differently now. It is, but this is what Coppice is designed to do, to have all these pages that can link to one another. I mean, at the moment, this is very much a test page because you, like, literally the current shipping version of Coppice, you cannot do this for multiple reasons. I mean, you could, but do part of it. But yeah, you can't have multiple things linking in. You can't have multiple routes on a hierarchy and all stuff like that. This is the whole point of this feature, to have all these arrows so people will be able to add arrows manually. So what did I get to do? I go to page hierarchy. So I think we implemented the conversions, then we wanted to get the P-list representation working. Because they are arrays of dictionaries of... Yeah, so what I should be able to get back is a dictionary which will have those things converted to model IDs, and then I can store them. Okay. So look at camp. Where are we? P-list strips. Right, so I want plist dot page hierarchy dot endpoints equals self.endpoints dot map this representation. I've spelled that wrong. Representation. Back up. I want this. Right, so that should be doing our plist representation of those, and then to restore. Let or entry point array of model plist key. Yeah, no worries, Snowtwig. I'm going to be here for a while, so hopefully you manage to get some good food. Hey Sinister, how are you doing? I am doing okay. Little tired, but otherwise good. we have... Ooh, that's a fair point. You probably haven't seen the changes that were made to the ship that finally got put in Wednesday. We now have a floor. We have panels and lights all around. We have panels here. There's a... You can't see it very well, but there's a textured panel up there. So yeah. We still have to do the roof. We still have to do above the... Like, all around the windows and everything needs some work. And this... Like the actual shell of the hollow table needs some work. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks quite good. I'm pretty happy with the colour scheme. It's quite quite neutral. So yeah, it's all looking pretty good. If I do say so myself. And yeah. We'll have to do in here. I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing in here. It may end up being something similar. But we'll see. But yeah. That is what I worked on Wednesday. Thanks. It's simple, but I think effective. It's always nice when I do something visual and it turns out looking okay. Because it quite often doesn't. Right, what we are going to do... For entry point. Draw entry point. Right, so what we want to is God let entry point with your entry point, else throw model object update errors dot points. If at least, even if one of them is invalid, then we don't open the document. Else entry points start append entry point. And then we're going to do self.entry points points. But we'll do that a bit later. Okay. Why is that failing? That is model list key. Why is that not failing then? Oh, that because it doesn't be model plist key. Well, we're going to make it a model plist key anyway. Oh, yeah, that should work. So, what are you up to today, Sinister? Starting an outdoor render. Oh, yeah, the lighting for those is always going to be a pain. Lighting, landscape, vegetation, yeah. None of it's particularly easy. And I do remember when I used to play around with Bryce when I was younger. I acquired a copy of Bryce as a kid, which was always fun for generating landscapes. I'm not even sure if it's still around anymore. Have a quick look and see if Bryce is... Stable release version 7. December 23rd, 2010. Yeah, Bryce was when you had truly fantastic UIs. Have any see if I can image. Yeah, it would generate landscapes like this. So it was very good at generating like cliffs and oceans and just procedurally generating landscapes for you. Well, I presume there are other tools that you can get as plugins for stuff like Blender and stuff now. But it was pretty great back in the day for doing this sort of stuff. You could sort of craft it a bit and it would build up around it, so... But yeah, that was Bryce. There were so many great tools back in the day. I mean, it's like... Is Lightwave still. Yeah, Lightwave is still released. Lightwave is used for these. Because Lightwave was it was a general 3D program, but I seem to remember it had a very particular way in which it was used. Do they have? Yeah, because Lightwave was the animation that was used for all of the CGI in 90s Star Trek. So that's how I learned about Lightwave, because like I said, it seemed to work differently to a lot of other 3D programs at the time. I never really got into it. I just watched some videos and stuff, and it seemed a bit different, but apparently it was like the best package for doing those sorts of spaceship flying through space stuff. No, it was for 3D stuff. So when you had any sort of CGI in, I think there was a little bit in Next Generation, but not a huge amount. But it was mostly later series of Deep Space Nine, and pretty much all of Voyager. I'm not even sure if maybe all of Voyager. I'm not sure if season 1 of Voyager had an actual model, but especially when you get to like Enterprise, and quite possibly for doing the effects for like the Next Generation movies, at least the first few, they were all done in Lightwave. So all of the spaceships, all the stuff like that was all done using them. I'd assume that they'd use other stuff on top of that, because I'm not sure whether Lightwave was doing like all the nebula effects and stuff. I think some of those may have been actual models when it goes through like a nebula and churns stuff up, because I mean that is quite possibly easier to film than it is. I mean these days you could do it on the computer fairly well, but in the 90s, the sort of fluid simulations and stuff you would need, it's probably easier just to build a model, stick it in a smoke, like set it in a bit of smoke and then just let it go through, or even just like ink in fluid in a dark room that you just move it through and it does it that way. So alright, that was so hopefully that will save them. Alright, so where to do? Open multi-page hierarchy. they're going to be concrete things. So what I probably want to do, it would probably be better having a page hierarchy manager, at least per canvas. I could do it on the canvas. That's the page hierarchy. Oh, I need to implement the stuff there. But we have an entry point. Yeah, I think I did hear that DreamWorks have made the rendering engine open source. I mean, that DreamWorks, one of the things that they absolutely seem to nail is lighting. They managed to do some amazing lighting, especially in the more recent ones. But yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's also like I remember when it's like 3D software had the rendering engines, and then the fact that Pixar had their own rendering engine was kind of this weird, like it seemed a bit weird but then made sense, and now all of the animation studios, it's like having a game engine having their own rendering engine. So but yeah, I mean Pixar, I think were licensing theirs fairly early on. Like you could get Pixar's rendering engine hooked into a lot of stuff, so I mean if it's open source, I wonder if it's something like it will eventually be hooked into stuff like Blender, which will be quite cool. Right, I think I need to make myself a plan. So, first thing in the plan, the grand plan, is finish implementing hierarchy plist stuff. The next thing in the grand plan is create hierarchy and closing page. Store hierarchy opening pages. Do test saving. Saving, loading, fix test. Okay, I think that should stuff. Okay. Alright, let's get these playlists done, and then I'm going to take break to get a fresh cup of tea and just clear my head a little bit. So the playlist representation of this is fairly easy. point. You have the canvas page ID. Right, so for a page, you have the canvas page ID, you have the page ID, you have the relative content frame within the hierarchy. For the links, you have canvas page you're going from, going to, and the page link. For the entry point, you have the page ID you're coming from, and the relative position. A page hierarchy though, you have the page reference. How do you determine because you would need a canvas. Is it coming from a canvas page? But there may be multiple hierarchies coming from a canvas page, so which one do you open? I think we also, as well as the canvas page ID, we want a page link. Because we need to know what link opened. In fact, we could get rid of the canvas page ID entirely because it would be the page link that would do it, because the canvas page ID is the source of the page link. Page link. Page link. You actually don't need any conversions anymore there. Okay, so here. One. Page hierarchy dot entry point dot page link. Page hierarchy. Oh no, there is no ID. Hey Kieran. Yeah, everything's going well. Enjoy the lurk and hope things are going well with family. Oh what? ICG graphics plus M3 extension. Why don't I have bar string representation? And I can just string, string, and string. Let's do the same for size. And do the same for back. Okay, so I should be able to do self.relative.string presentation. And here, page hierarchy dot pageref dot canvas page ID. On the actual key, don't we? Yeah, page hierarchy. Links. Dot ref dot source ID. Okay, and then we want to read in, and for this we want to do cardlet fearless string equals fearless dot add attribute. So we've got all those in. Canvas page equals page. Page ID equals D and relative content frame equals CG rect string relative string. One last one to do. Links. That link is right. Add attribute. Okay, let's see if that compiles. Does not. Why not? Because link does not exist. Build succeeds. Okay, so that is done. Then when we get back, I want to be canvas plus pages. And on this bit here is when we want to start building up a hierarchy. We're going to keep track of all the pages and links that we close at this point so that we can actually store them. Because we need to store them on a canvas for each canvas. It doesn't matter about for each canvas page, it's just the link that matters, isn't it? Alright, we find didn't have the link in. Yeah. Okay, well, I will be back in about 5 minutes or so, as I need to get a cup of tea and just wake up a bit more. But yeah, when we get back, we'll get to that and have a quick look at what I've been doing in terms of design for the Coppice website and the new M3 website, which is a lot of fun stuff. So I will see you all in a little bit, and there will be an ad break running, so just so we get rid of those pre-rolls. So see you in a little bit. Okay, I am back. So, I said I was going to show off some other stuff I've been working on. So, if I do this... So, I've mentioned before that I have the M-Cubed website. And then I have coppiceapp.com. And it's a separate website. But they're both basically talking to the same thing. And like if you go up here to account, that takes you to mcubedsw.com, and you're effectively two websites pointing to the same stuff. So what I would like to do is unify those into a single website, because it's a lot easier for me to maintain, but it also lets me expand things to talk about streamline and stuff like that. This was all done when I thought, oh, I'm just going to be talking about Coppice. So I've been doing some design work, and if I bring this up, there's still a lot that I need to do. This was just a very rough thing that I've come up with this morning. But I've got a colour palette over here now that I can potentially use, which is just a bunch of shades of green. I may not actually use this darker green that much. It may mostly just be the grey, what I call Coppice green, because I use that green everywhere at the moment, and then this paler green here. But yeah, it's basically building it out, and it's just going to be probably one page, go through what's new. And at the moment on Coppice, we have this thing, how does Coppice work here, where it sort of goes through all these things. And what I'm going to do is there's going to be this bit here, like collect your thoughts, link them together, let them grow. So that stuff is going to sort of be in this bit here, but above it, I'm possibly going to have a video. It's either going to be something where you can hover over these and it changes some sort of animation here. I'm going to do like a how Coppice works video, which I will stick up there. I may even just have like an intro video and stick it somewhere up here. But one quick idea I had this morning is I've had this thing written on the Coppice website, which is currently up here. Well, I had the idea of what if it's fading out, because the whole idea is, well, you're doing all this stuff and like you just leave them and they forget and they start to fade. And then in Coppice green, what if you had some help in making sense of them all? And then it will go into all stuff on Coppice. So yeah, I'm just playing around with ideas for... Initially I was planning on this being sort of a wave, but then it occurred to me, well, I could just have it like this, where I could have the arrows coming down. There's lots of little things that I want to do. I'm getting the Coppice icon updated a bit. So I may animate that, so that when you load the page, it animates the icon in, and I can have little bits of animation coming in. So hopefully this will be quite fun, quite a nice upgrade, because I mean this is what we have right now. And what my plan is, I have two fonts at the moment. I have Proxima Nova, and I have Tisa. And what I'm probably going to do is leave Tisa as the absolute header, and then the header up here. And everything else is going to be Proxima Nova. And just make it a bit cleaner, just different weights and sizes of Proxima Nova. I need to work out exactly what sizes to do. I know there's a rule of thumb for those. I need to find where that is. So it's just sort of going through working out what I want. But yeah, I'm hoping this will actually turn out quite nice once it's done. Right. But we may work on that some other time. May start working on that on Wednesdays. It was something that I was going to do after this Coppice release, like work on the design, because I'm not actually going to do this updated one for Coppice 2022.2. The updated design is actually going to be for 2022.3, which is like the Mac App Store release. So it is going to be something where you can essentially it's all the unifying stuff is going to be there as all part of updating everything, doing improved marketing and all stuff like that. Because I mean, if I show you, I've been looking through a bunch of websites, so if I just shoot that over here, I can bring this on, because whenever I update my website I always look through what do other Mac websites look like. So you've got Sleep Aid here, which has these nice effects in the background, but it's very text heavy. Acorn as well is fairly text heavy, has a lot going on. But then you get to, for example, Tumult Type, which is what I use to create the animations on the current web page. And there's a lot of text, but there's a lot more spacing around, and it just looks like it breathes a lot better. There's a little bit of texture on the background here, and so on. Then we start getting to stuff like Kaleidoscope, where you've got a lot more shapes and colours and so on. I think they are using fonts. Yes, they are. So they're using two fonts, but they're a lot similar. But again, lots of text, but it's a lot more screenshots and so on. Yes, having like the big titles. I mean, I have this at the moment, but it's like there's a bunch of stuff here, then you got your downloads and stuff. And what I'm thinking is, here I'm going to have the Coppice here. I'm probably going to have like a download thing here, and a Pro button here for like buy Pro, and it may be download direct download from the App Store and have the stuff here. Or I may stick all the download buttons here as you scroll down, and as you scroll down they may then fix to the top up here as sort of a sub heading thing, but we'll see. I mean, they may just sit at the top as sort of a subheading anyway. But I just like the idea of having this here as a big thing, and then you scroll down, so it's sort of like, and this here is sort of pointing you downwards. So yeah, I do want a motif where I want these basically almost vines with leaves on, sort of at various points on the page. But that's something that I'll have to, because if I did stuff like that, potentially I could animate them. But yeah, what other ones do we have? So Omnigroup. Omnigroup have much less text. This is Omnigraphel. This is a fairly powerful app, but you can see it has far less text. So we have a video up here, then we have a big thing of what it does, and then you can sort of hover over these things and it shows a few bits and pieces. Some more stuff here where again it's showing bits and pieces, but if I go somewhere like on the focus, they're all very similar in what they do in terms of having some information then showing you in the app. Then we get to Panic. Panic are the quintessential Mac developer. So Transmit, got a bit of text here, some stuff, and then again it's the shapes. I have always been a very just straight lines, not having angled lines, not having curved lines and stuff, so I wanted to do the shapes a bit more as transitions between various colours, but they go from a grey to an orange, back to a grey, to a blue, to a red, so they've got all sorts of colours going on here. And you see there's gradients on here, so I'm wanting to get some gradients into mine as well. You get some more stuff down here. Now the thing with Panic is a much bigger company. Panic, I mean, for anyone who's never heard of Panic for their Mac software, which you should have, because they've made Transmit, they've made Coda, which is now Nova, which is what I use for web development. Back in the day they made, what was it? Was it Audion? They made one of two like music players, MP3 players on the Mac, and of the two, Panic's stayed with Panic. The other one got bought and got made into iTunes by Apple. But Panic you would also know, because if I go up here, you've probably heard of Untitled Goose Game or Firewatch, both of which they have published, or The Playdate, which they have made. So Panic have always been sort of up there. But I mean, you have Prompt. This has a lot more text and is a lot simpler. But then you get to Nova. Nova has a very cool effect. So can you see the star field that's, as I move the mouse around, it's moving with me. And then watch what happens when you go over to download Nova for free. And then you move off and you get the parallax effect and stuff as you're moving through. It is super cool how they've done that. But then you go down and you have this here that works as sort of a navigation thing. You go down and it will show you various little bits and pieces, and the thing with Panic is they have some truly excellent designs, possibly some of the best designers in the business. And yeah, they can do a lot more than I can, because as I say, they have full-blown designs. In fact, does it show any of the... No, but so yeah, Panic, there was always a thing of back in like the 2000s and so on, we had those like the Livestrong bracelets and stuff, and you had the WWJD, what would Jesus do ones, and for Mac developers it was always the question, WWPD, what would Panic do? But then we get to Rogue Amoeba, who a long time ago they had kind of dull website. I mean, not dull, but it wasn't like a standout. But what they have now, there's lots of cool things, such as the little animations for things here, which would be fun to try on Coppice. And then if you go in, each of these is slightly different. So you have air font, and you have this nice rotating thing behind. And you go down, look how clean all of this looks. And this is all blue. If you go to audio hijack, this is some fantastic like blue to orange stuff that matches what's in the app, and it's showing the app going along, and you can sort of hover over these and it switches between. It's all fantastic styling in terms of the colours. One thing I always find weird about complementary colours, if you do complementary colours, blue and orange, it looks really good together. Purple and yellow looks really good together. Red and green does not look good together. And it's like, why? Why is it that one does not work as well? I mean, it works okay if you're doing something Christmassy, but other than that, it never looks particularly well. But yeah, so you can go on, what else do we have? We have Fission, which is this nice sort of yellow colour with some oranges on, and you can see there's just little animations on stuff like the free download and the purchase, and go to loopback. Loopback doesn't have quite as much, but again, it's very simple. It's blues and teals, all variants of a single colour, which is sort of what I'm going for with Coppice. I have my colour palette here. What I may do is some of the lighter ones, I may desaturate them a bit, because you can see the gradient here. This is going from Coppice green at the top down to a more desaturated version. I've basically upped the luminance, which has basically made it lighter and more and less saturated at the same time. So I may create this a bit less saturated so I can use it as a background almost. I may use the colour and basically just make it translucent to get the same effect. And then the sound source, which again has a nice gradient based on, like, they've got a green blue here, and they're all different colours. Sound source is what I'm currently using for all of my putting audio into OBS. I may not need to use it as much for that in future, but it's still incredibly useful because macOS doesn't let you plug speakers into external monitors and control the volume, whereas Sound Source does let you do that. So yeah, those are some of the websites that I have been looking at for inspiration. It's always good to look through those sorts of websites and see what sort of stuff you can come up with. Especially when you're not like an amazing designer who's doing this full time and is sort of doing this part time. It's good to look at what other people are doing in terms of design stuff, and don't just like copy paste, but just get ideas of, okay, that looks quite cool, what can I do with that fits in with Coppice? So it's like, what can I do in terms of the shapes that people are using? What can I do in terms of gradients that I can use? How are people laying stuff out? And so on. So it's not like absolutely copying it, but it's saying, okay, well, these various companies are doing these various things, and these things look cool. How can I do that my way? So that's what I'm going to be looking into. So it's like gradients, shapes, much more spacing, simpler typography, so mostly using a single font, having a fixed color palette, because I haven't been particularly good at creating a proper color palette in the past. It's just randomly colors that I think look okay together. and also getting some animations and more stuff in there. So it's something that I'll be working on over the coming weeks. But yeah, it'd be fun to work on stream and get people's feedback. It'd be a lot more visual than all of this. Yes, sort of a niche, because the key thing is with most of it, I'm the support, because there's going to be a home page, there's going to be support, blog and stream, which are currently on the Coppice side. They're most going to be copied over as is in terms of layout. I'll probably tweak some bits of it and so on, but most of it is going to stay the same. Whereas the Coppice and the Streamline ones are going to be different. Streamline is probably going to have a different colour and a different layout and so on. But I'm going for sort of a nature theme, and what I want to do is, I mean, it's something that I've thought of for a while. I mean, I'll do a very, very, I just create a new thing here, and let's just go, so that's black. So if I use brush side, the actual brush. So this is going to be, I'm doing this with a mouse, so this is going to look awful, but if you imagine something like that, and then you have leaves coming off. And it's just very simple. I'll probably be doing this as a vector thing, but it would be nice to have something that looks a little like that. I'd probably make it something like that, but and then it would probably just so that we get those ends a bit better. I mean, that's probably not too ideal, but you get the rough idea of some sort of vine with leaves and stuff going up. Just sort of very simple, stylized, cartoonish almost in how simplistic it is, but something that I can animate. So as you can scroll down, this could wind its way up and leaves could pop out or something. Because what I could then do is, if I have that there, I can move text over a bit. So there's all sorts of things that I could do. But yeah. Right, what I want to do is get in here and get working on this close stuff. Right. Page link. Well, link out. Got page. So what we probably need. Hierarchy builder. Class page hierarchy. Initialize. Camp. In. Campus link. So, do so we initialize with those. Then what we want to do is we want to add link. Do we need the root page? Because with the pages, we need links. I mean, we need the root page to determine the offsets for the point. Okay, so we're going to add a canvas page. You go through remove page and link. Yeah. Because we're removing all pages, all links out from those pages. We won't be removing the page if it still has links in. We don't care about restoring them. So Add canvas page. Add links out on the page. And we want hierarchy. Now the thing is, we cannot actually store canvas page or the canvas link because those are getting deleted. So what we need to store, the links we can immediately turn into link refs because they are just links between pages. That's fine. So the links in we can turn into entry points, and the links out here we can just turn into link refs. The pages are a bit more complex because we need to extract the ID, we need to extract the page ID, we need to extract the frame and convert it to a relative frame. This needs to get the frames of the pages linking in to be able to get the relative position for those entry points. Okay. But that should let us get the entry points. It should let us create a page. We're not going to create a page ref from the root page because it's going to be added here anyway. Because the way this is going to work is remove page and links is now going to return a page hierarchy. Actually, create the page hierarchy up here. So let hierarchy, let builder a page hierarchy builder. Which is going to have canvas page as the root page. Links in there, and page hierarchy builder, the builder can go in there. And then in here, we're going to do a hierarchy builder dot add canvas page, and that's the builder in. Yeah, we can return the page. Ultra. Okay, I'm not sure where we'll actually generate this. Okay. Build hierarchy in model. Gonna need that to create it. So first of all, I have like canvas. Canvas is do it in canvas and get the color that way. Actually, oh, we need to build it in the model control. We don't even need a canvas there because what we can do, so for example, get the hierarchy equals builder.build hierarchy of dot model controller. Color. Build hierarchy, we can do hierarchy dot. Does hierarchy not have a canvas? Could do. Okay. They look at the hell they come from. Okay. I just want about this. This is fun code. Right. So now page hierarchy pages. So then we'd be able to do .canvas itself. Right. So we have the root page. We want to create our entry. And for an entry point, I want a page link and I want the relative position. So private entry points is going to be a bunch of page hierarchy point. I want private let well hierarchy origin, which is going to be a CG point, and I think that's it. So self.hierarchy origin equals page dot frame dot origin. The origin of the page is the origin of the hierarchy, and things can be negative, positive, whatever, they're all going to be relative to that. Then for the entry points, we want var entry points equal page hierarchy point was entry points. That is empty at the moment because link is in. So for each canvas link, what we want to do, guard let actually don't need to pass links in there because I've got canvas page dot links in. Just stick the builder up there. Get rid of that. If let in page dot links in. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because it's always going to be here. So page dot links in. I'll let source page dot source page is new. Welcome back, Sinister. Alright. We'll get the source page, and then what we want to do is we want to get what is the relationship between the root page, or rather the origin of the hierarchy, because the root page is just going to have position 0, 0 in the hierarchy. So the position with that, and I've just realised the entry points need the canvas ID, because a page link is using page references. So an entry point needs to know which canvas it's going to. Destination canvas. So really the hierarchy itself it should be page D, which model I. Oh, we can. D. Okay, root page ID equals root page ID. Voila! We are getting somewhere. Alright, so we get the links in, and then page hierarchy. Let offset equal is going to be the root page.frame.origin minus the source page.frame.origin. Yeah, because if source page is at 50-50 and the root page is at 100-100, then the root page is going to be 50-50, position 50-50 from source page. So that's the offset, and then we can do entry points dot append page hierarchy dot entry points. Was 40. Okay, we need to get the page. Page length. Okay. That's it. Right, what are we looking at? We've got all our entry points and stuff here. Alright, so when we add a canvas page, what we want is we are going to want private bar page refs. Page hierarchy dot page ref. Private bar link refs is going to be a page hierarchy dot ref. So whenever we add a page, I'll link out in canvas page dot out. Then F so guard let out dot link is you, and we want link dot. Okay, so that is optional. Yeah. Source equals source. Okay, so we need to do source page dot ID. Nation ID equals nation page dot ID. So it would be source ID, destination ID. Call that page link. Okay, so we want to add all of the links, and then for the page ref, guard let Needs to be a page, otherwise it's not going to do anything. And then not a pen. The page D. Now the relative content frame is going to be the frame is our relative frame equal canvas page dot frame, and then relative frame dot origin equals relative frame dot origin minus hierarchy. So that changed it to being relative to hierarchy, and then we'll do relative frame. Then what we want to do here is model controller dot page canvas pages canvas hierarchy. Page hierarchy full collection. The page hierarchy collection. That new object with $0 dot entry points equals of dot 0 dot page graphs 0 dot links dot graphs $0 dot page ID of dot page ID. Okay. So hopefully, if we do this, canvas page. Build it, we set the canvas. Okay, that should be good. And then what we can do, print edges, hierarchy dot edges count, links, hierarchy links count. Okay. He could not be inferred. Why? Oh, that's not to try. Okay. Does this build? Does it run? Does it blend? Right, what we are looking for is a log that will appear when we close something. So for example, if I was to close a single page such as D, we're going to get precondition failure. Why do we get precondition failure? Because I probably have not added the page hierarchy. Coppice model controller. Try that again. Right, close. That contains one page, 0 links, and an incorrect number of entry points. Okay, let's try. If we close B, this should contain 1 link, 2 pages, 1 entry point. Contains 2 pages, 0 links, and 0 entry points. Okay. That should not be happening. Why is that happening? So for root page links in, should be doing that and creating entry points. Yeah, okay. Close that. Delete. And we'll go here. Close D. Okay. Page dot links in. Dot close page. Because we haven't set the link. So I need to update the document. Well, I needed to do that anyway. Can I be bothered doing that? No, I think I'll do that off stream because that's going to be a bit boring. Who would like to do some stream stuff? Probably some more 3D modeling on the bridge. I think that will be a bit more interesting than me updating the test stuff. So I'll probably get that done. I'll do a little bit after the stream and then maybe some more tomorrow morning. Okay, there's at least one hand. I'll take that. We're close to getting page hierarchies done. Once I update that, I will be in a good position to then get restoration working. So we should hopefully by the end of Monday be able to get it done. Anyway, I am just going to step away a sec while I get set up and sort 1, 2 things out, and then yeah, we'll work on this. So I'll be right back and I'll just run a quick ad break. Okay, we are good to go. Welcome back, Snowtwig. The reason people are raising their arms is whether they want me to do some more work on the overlay. Even if no one raised their arms, I was probably going to do some more work on the overlay, but yeah, we've just hit a thing with Coppice where I think I've got the closing working, but I realise my test data is only partially implemented, so I need to do that, and that's a bit boring to do, so I'm going to do that off stream. So what we're going to do is some more work on working on the bridge. So if I need to organize a bit better. There's a way to nice if you could like label them with colours like you can do like in Finder or something like that. So let's just see if I can find a better project. The next big goal is actually just to finish off the bridge. So what I want to do, in fact, stuff. Okay. So what I want is there we are, bridge. So we haven't quite finished, so we have all around the front here and around the windows. So I want to stick something around the windows. I want to add something to the hollow table as well. And then we've got the roof as well that needs a texture. So what I think I will probably some structural stuff, similar material to that. But I just basically want shape around the windows. Now they should be mirrored. So what I'm going to do is if I go here and I select the edges, duplicate. I'm going to separate by selection. By tab, get this rather nice shape. Yeah. So this basically that one. Ah. Right. This. I think probably flatten off because this is currently going at angle. Don't want it to do that. Now I could fix the overall thing, but I think what I will do is fix it in the frame and we will hide our mistakes. So that with a copy something. I have that and I have that. Okay. Well, let's take that. That's point. You know what might actually be better? Delete that. Rather than selecting the face, let's select the edge. So if I duplicate those and then separate by selection. Then what I can is long Y. Oh. Okay, so those are what I want to do. is not those. And okay. My direction. Oh. Good. And then what I want to do. Like this. Why am I shading what they are? Yeah, extrude. No, that's purple. Extrude. Oh, the normals are all messed up. Shift it. Yeah, we've got normal like that. And we don't want to extrude along normals, don't we? Like this back. Possibly, because that looks better, and then I can join them up. And what I can do is faces, but fill these in. Oh. Hell. Okay. Then... Yes. Change the setting. Selection. That's better. So, that is... So, I bring... So, I need... This is it. Okay. So, we have something that we can play with. Okay. No, I'm not planning on putting any glass in. Simply because I've had glass in before and it puts, like, all it does is dull the background. So the intent is to just imagine that the glass is there. It's just super clear glass. So that's my basic thought process on it. Yeah, invisible shielding. That works as well as a explanation. I believe the Star Trek explanation is they don't use glass because glass is too fragile. They use translucent aluminium, which I believe may actually be a thing now. Like, theoretically, it is a thing that you can make translucent aluminium, which is like super strong, but I'm not sure if they've ever actually made it. Right, so if I don't care how it looks on me, I just care about how it. So the ship structure. Oh, if I duplicate, move it along the X, and we want to do get error bubble. Almost pointed out. Let's save and let's see what it looks like in Unity. So, that looks okay. Now, there is a problem. Stop that, go here, start it again. And we can move over. Yeah. I think that looks pretty good. It certainly looks a lot better than it did beforehand, because if I good. If I hide those, yeah, that adds so much more polish. It's just the depth of them and the border of them. It makes them look like windows now. So, what else do we have to do? I think we maybe have to get away without needing to do anything above the windows now. I think that's done enough with that we just need the ceiling. But do we... Question is, what would we do on the ceiling? Let's turn off, turn on, so that we can have a look again. So, what will we do on the ceiling? I mean, I suppose we could have a line that sort of just goes around. Like tracks around the outside. But that we could model in. Then maybe model like a center light or something. Like, rather than texture, just model it. I mean, you're not spending too much time looking at the ceiling, are you? But it would be nice to have something up there. I don't want to stick too much in the way of lighting up there, because I like the lighting being on the walls. Maybe we just... yeah. Let's have a look at some ceilings from Star Trek. We have sort of structural things going along the top, so I mean we could have structural columns that go along the top. So bump maps could add. Are you meaning just for the roof, or are you meaning for the floor as well? I mean, yeah, they're just very slight. But the thing is, they really have the impact. Hmm. Yeah, and I don't want to really have lighting on. I mean, so what I could do, just as a quick, oh, if I just like that. Okay. To origin, set a mass. Rotate that. So if I I save that, go back. See, that adds something in. And then it feels like may need something going along there as well. Probably not at the front because that's sort of coming in, but at least going along the sides. So I had that. And That isn't. Okay, so save that. I think that looks okay. And then I think if in these two bits we do a bump map, like you say, but just like the centre of it, have it drifting a bit. I mean, yeah, if we did that as a bump map. May even be tempted to bring this back, but it's not going all the way to the... No. I think it looks better when it's going all the way, because then it's not blocking that off. Okay, so let's try pump. So what I want to do, grab this and the horizontal beam. this one. I think without the horizontal beam, I would need to have something running along there. With the horizontal beam, I think I can get away without needing to do stuff around the front. But I suppose I can get away without it. Okay, let's keep the horizontal beam out then. That. Okay, so editing. That. How about that? Go in there. Play. Measure. Moving. Fly. Do this thing there. What was that? Yeah. Okay. Now what we want is that image. No. Not layout. Texture. And we want Photoshop. Model. Oh, deck. Texture. Yeah. Photoshop. Alright, so this is just going to be a bump map. So what I want to do, select, modify, contract by, okay, so we want a material, the roof, and shading. And let's just put it as the color for now because we're not going to be able to. I don't care about. Alright, what we do care about. Right. What we're going to. That. Want this to have. Alright. So we want. Oh. Actually. Add a point there. Yep. That. Match. Off. Off of this, for that black. Alright. What we want is and that. Probably don't want the bridge to have probably do is if I And let's save. Bridge route. Okay, so we need to bring it back. And a bit. So that or about that much. Now so edge. There's that bit. That seems to be okay, but I want way out. That's shifted a bit there. Move that in. Okay, I think that's off. We'll bring it in a bit from the center. Oh. Then. What we back? Yeah, that needs a bit there. Okay, and then what I want to do is low, which is going to be flat. That. Oh. Place. What we want to do. Okay, so that's doing that there. What we actually want to come out. Bump. Right. That. Then disconnect that. I think just something subtle like that should work. A outer glow. And let's up mouse flip. Oh, place go in here and that looks okay. Okay, so we're going to save that. That's going to come across, and it's not going to show up because serial. So we need to go here. And go. Base. And we normal map, which maps that. Texture. Okay, so we need to shift that slightly. Think to that export save replace. Nope, that's the wrong. There we go. So we've got to be. I think that looks okay. I think that looks okay to me. Play. Have a look at what it looks like. There's one thing we want to do, and if we switch to there, I want to do that. What does everyone think? I think this is all looking pretty good now. Oh, the sound effects for the doors are from get them from zapsplat.com. Yeah, I think the bridge is pretty much done. I mean, we still probably want to like tweak the doors. Actually, let's tweak the doors now. Because that should just be a case of matches and move along. No, that's not the panel. That's what I want. Panel. And then on structure for that. Okay, so if I go to the ship doors tab, door trim, we want structure. Yeah, I think what I'm going to need to do... Open. There we go. So what I need to do is just add some materials in Blender. So these need material for the doors. Not door. That needs to be door. That needs to be frame. Got frame, we've got door. I save that. Now we have those there, but if I select prefab, oh, I don't want to extract materials. What I want to do is panel and ship. Okay. And I drag out. Apply. Okay. So they are all done. I think that's looking pretty good. So let's do a build. See what it looks like once it is built. Just let that build. Overlay. And voila! We have it in. And it is looking pretty good. Everything is, the doors are all coloured correctly now. All of our stuff is appearing at the top. Yeah. I think we can class the bridge as finished. Like I said, the hollow table still needs a little bit, but we can sort that out some other time. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. I think it's been a productive day. We've got some stuff done on Coppice. We've got this done here. And yeah. So I will be back tomorrow at the same time. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. I'm going to go get some food because I believe I'm playing D&D later tonight. So I need to get food in first. But yeah, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. A wonderful weekend, and until we hopefully meet again tomorrow for some more Coppice, as always, happy coding!